Hey up guys, S-Man, back at it again with a brand new Horizon review. We're a little behind, so let's just make sure we get right into the video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, your thoughts on the episode. We just gotta get right into it because we're behind. Now, I gotta say, this episode was a huge improvement off last one. I came out of this one feeling very satisfied. So basically, the episode starts off with Ryme telling where last week left off. With Ryme telling Roy, find your soul and challenge me again. That's when the kids are a little discussing, and Dot actually mentions a big tidbit. Once a student is failed from the Terrestrial course, they're done for good. So I may be behind, but like, I heard about what happened. So is a certain character cooked? I don't know. But yeah. But based on what Ryme told them, they realized that Ryme is going to give Roy one more chance. And Roy immediately goes into rush with another battle, and everyone says that's not really a good idea. You should train and practice and realize what you need to do. So that's when Nemona gives everyone special endurance training to help Roy and even the other two build up endurance. Surprisingly, Nemona has the least endurance out of all of them in the first one, which is actually hilarious. And is a good callback to one of the most obscure lines from the game. Also, another detail. This isn't even a detail about the episode. It's just a detail about my personal life. I was working out while watching the episode, so I was on the treadmill. And I was like, alright, Roy, let's do this together. I upped that baby to like, I cranked that speed up so I can run with Roy and the rest. So yeah, a lot of like immersion in this episode. But yeah, with this endurance training, you actually get some funny jokes where the gang is rolling like some snowballs, and Dot and Florigato both quit, much to Liko and Quaxwell's dismay. And I gotta say, after a little bit, it still feels weird seeing Quaxwell, but like, I don't know, it's starting to grow. I like that it's kept a lot of Quaxwell's personalities and traits. But yeah, we then get some training where Fuecoco is dodging the water gun, magical leaf, and discharge. But yeah, they finish training and they discuss that the training probably won't be enough and they need to fix Roy's strategy. Where Nemona actually calls out what I was talking about last week, where Roy would just start singing and then using the same two moves. So Nemona straight up says, stop spamming your moves, use more strategy with them, which, yeah, this gets pointed out, but then later, we see Roy still spam moves, but at least he has a strategy with his spam. But like, yeah, he talks more about his song and their little power-up song, and that's when Liko actually asks, why does Roy have a thing for singing, and Roy reveals a lot about his backstory. On the island, his parents, sadly not Gita. I'm so happy I didn't put out that theory video. I would have been horribly timed with Gita immediately appearing and then like 2 episodes later from when I was gonna originally publish it. Like literally, guys, I have like this video that it has on back where it was like, oh yeah, it's Roy's parents, mom. That was going to come out right before, like, this was literally like planned. I think the episode before, I think the Palafin episode is when I started scripting it, and I'm like, I got too busy, so I like left that in the back burner. But again, Gita actually appeared, so I'm like, I can't do it now because there's no evidence. I'm so happy I didn't do that theory. I would have looked like an idiot. Basically, we learned that Roy's parents were sailors, and when they would take Roy on the boat and all sing together. But one day, his parents had to go on a long voyage and left him behind with his grandpa on the island. That's basically where we pick up with him on Horizon. And he continued singing in order to build bonds with the Pokemon in the forest. And that's why he continued singing, because it was a thing that brought him and his parents together and strengthened their bond. He sees it as a way to strengthen the bond with all the Pokemon on the island. But that's when one day he catches a little Fuecoco sitting on the beach side, enjoying it. And you know the rest of it. But yeah, I really love Roy's like little background of singing. Roy's singing has always been like a fun aspect of the character and one of the better aspects. I genuinely enjoy Roy's more singing battle strategy, and I'm happy, so happy he got to fight Ryme and was able to explore that. But yeah, after this, Roy realizes he wants to do some more little training, and runs off with Nimona to help him. That's when we get Liko and Dot and the most hilarious scene ever, where they realize they have to stall Ryme's concert. And they're like throwing together, oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And that's when Quaxwell walks on stage and challenging Ryme and points at Dot, who starts to begin hiding behind Liko, and Liko decides to step up on stage and drags Dot with her. So they do some weird little performance where Quaxley is going to dance while Florigato hits a bunch of berries on their heads and stuff. It was strange, but they only plan to kill time. But yeah, Moist Critical begins to go end the concert, and that's when Roy steps up and says to Ryme, I have found what I was looking for, re-challenge me. And that's when we get a one-on-one. Exactly. Now, when I first watched the episode and saw them training, I'm like, why isn't he training Kilowattrel? And I'm still kind of annoyed they didn't train Kilowattrel, but I can accept that only for the fact that it was a one-on-one. It is kind of weird though. It makes sense that it's a one-on-one, because technically Roy's already beat her other Pokemon. It's just more, it wasn't Kilowattrel, but yeah. The battle begins, and Roy quickly shows off the feats of their endurance and stamina training by dodging all of toxicities at Shax and even able to land a hit. But here's when I love the battle personally, and I feel it was like really well done. But here's when it kind of gets interesting. Ryme constantly spams one move throughout the battle, hoping it will hit Roy, which is what he did last time, but it fails every time. Then Roy begins to spam Disarming Voice, which, based on last week, shouldn't work. But Roy's not really doing that to do damage. He's doing it more to disorient toxicity and like distract it. And that's when we get a really hype scene where Roy starts singing a brand new tune, which sounded a lot like a country tune where he goes, yo, 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 hey, 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 hey. And it's more like and it actually kind of reminds me of like when in the actual Galar, both Galar and Paldea gym feed, when like the gimmick gets pulled out, you hear the audience cheer, and the audience starts clapping along. And Roy gets on rhythm, and Fuecoco get on rhythm with that. And instead of just one quick song using a power-up, Fuecoco is using the rhythm of the song to basically hop around, launch a move, do a couple more hops, launch a move, and it's just timing on the song. That's when Ryme realizes this, and the whole audience is cheering, and Liko even mentions, hey, this is fun, and starts clapping along. But yeah, this was what Roy was training. Nimona reveals that during the entire time, Roy did not once think about his battling. It's more just him and Fuecoco getting on the same tune and basically getting prepared for his battle. But yeah, Ryme realizing she might be cooked, decided to terastallize in pure desperation after calling out Roy for that. What a hypocrite. And Roy realizes this is his chance to terastallize. Ryme uses a couple moves, which Fuecoco and Roy are able to dodge. Fuecoco tanks one final move and launches a powerful flamethrower and takes out Toxicity, winning Roy the battle. Now, this battle was great. Although it was kind of boring seeing the same move being used over and over again, I get why, and it was more to disorient Toxicity and build up momentum with the new beat. And I love how Ryme basically, like right after this, compliments Roy and is happy for him to do this move, basically motivation behind singing. And Roy even says himself, he once previously thought singing was to get stronger, so he has to sing during battle. But after fighting Ryme the first time, he realizes that he doesn't sing to get stronger. He sings to build connections, share feelings, which is what he did to build bonds with all the island Pokemon, even Fuecoco. and when him and his Pokemon are singing, they are at their closest. And we even see this with previous episodes, with that episode where Watcho and Coco fought the entire time, and ends with them, Roy, and Coco all singing, bonding together. But yeah, when Roy sings, him and Coco are basically one. And they're at their strongest, not just physically, but like mentally and together, and they're built with a strong bond. And I'm how happy that is what we got in this episode. Slowly and surely, each character has been getting little development. I didn't notice this the first time I watched the Larry battle, but actually, like, I looked back on it, Dot did actually learn a lot more than what I pointed out. Dot realized that instead of honing in on what her enemy strategy is, she should work more with her Pokemon's own strengths, and begins doing that. And this episode, Roy, who previously used the song as basically a final one power up, basically a final power up to go bam. He's now using it to make sure him and his Pokemon are in sync and ready. They're basically locked in for the battle, which I love. But yeah, episode ends with Grusha just standing there watching them, and overall, like I said, I love this episode. I loved everything about it. The only thing that could have been better, maybe kill Watcho, but I don't know if you could have gotten that good of a battle with a decent enough setup earlier in the episode to fit Kill Watcho. The only way I say fit and Kill Watcho is you have to cut the Rico and Dot stuff out, but the Rico and Dot stuff kind of needed to happen. Oh, also, I almost forgot to mention, last episode I was so sad because it didn't have the little Greasebeard who like dances around when you're battling. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, that's like my favorite part of the Ryme battle, where it just cuts to the little Greasebeard just vibing to the battle. He's in this episode. The second I saw him, I was like, no way he's in the episode. I literally love the little Greasebeard so much. He's always such a vibe when he's just dancing, battle. I love him. But yeah. Like I said, I love this episode. Everything about it. Like, Roy, I swear, whenever we don't get Roy episodes, Roy seems like the most uninteresting character ever. But then every time we get a Roy episode, I'm like, yo, Roy is the GOAT. Roy's my boy. Roy is like one of the best characters on the show. But then we won't get a Roy episode for like 10 episodes straight. And he's just like in the background, like rain rotting, and I forget how good Roy is as a character. But yeah, overall, I have to give this episode a 10 out of 10. I couldn't ask for anything more besides Kill Watcho, but like, I can excuse that this one time. But yeah, 10 out of 10. A big BOOM! If you guys get that reference, you get it. But yeah, hope you guys like this video. We're catching up. Next video, Floragato review. Whatever episode that is. I don't know why I said Floragato. It's Nico versus Grusha. If you guys like the video, subscribe for more content.